Popping up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent match.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
That's it, baby. Go, go. Down. 10 Lobo. Check, 47. Let's go, let's go. Get.
On first down, quick. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I missed him, it would have been a long night.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that. Term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Quick. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, quick, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very low. Looking to throw. Quick.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out with that first time. I'll try to do better here. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Naeem Hines, 83 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
To throw on 2nd down. Quick. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cortland Sutton, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
That good for 22 and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now they try the right side here. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
60 outlaw. 56.
He'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Harris Paris Campbell, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix the things there.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Quick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there? Swarming to it and not allowing that to happen. Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And the Colts coming out now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And they give this time to the tailback. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to try and throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, if some guys, there will be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking to go back to Sutton there, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Quick. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And, look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. And the Panthers looking pretty good. Their lead growing even further. We'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll set up to throw. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together. Together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darius Leonard picks up his second sack of the afternoon. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. $12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for Campbell downfield. It's caught at the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. Oh, good move at the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 56 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try to run with Hines. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Naeem Hines with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Yeah, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up, taking it right down Broadway. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Going to give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now they go screen. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Quick. His throw incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Quick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board. When you
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 2nd and 1. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. With touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. As his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and through. And that will extend this big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
I'm coming. Hit it.
Throwing on 1st down. Quick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And all the way down to the 42. A huge play there on the screen pass. 41 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun. Quick. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and long. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Really in a hole here. 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Back to throw. Quick. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And they have the football that will set up shop at the 33-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we made one more play, could have had our shutout.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
61, match box.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on. Get it.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Darius Leonard able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.